Hello, ladies and gents. Ooh, that's loud. There we go. Watch this. Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to a very blustery VATSIM evening. I've just been watching approach after approach, and none of them look good. Although, oh no. No. So, we are on the ground at Amsterdam. We're flying over to London Gatwick this evening. I've just been on the ground actually for the better part of an hour, sorting out a few things. And now I've jumped on, and I've just sat here with this camera, and it's just fascinating to watch people's approaches and people's takeoffs with this wind. This is, let's see, let's get the meta for Amsterdam. That is 22 knots from 320, gusting to 40. Oh, and it's a variable angle as well from 280 to 350. So it is interesting. I'm really looking forward to getting up in the sky to see what's going on. So thank you for those of you who are joining the stream. For those of you joining the stream, please pop in the chat to let me know if my audio levels are correct. And that they're comfortable to your ears. Let's see what's coming in here now. There's Scandinavian 737 inbound coming over the top of my head, and there is an A320 out of the screen, out of the frame on the left-hand side, ready to line up. So we'll see how this Scandinavian 737 does. Oh dear. Hello. I mean that's already he's in the touchdown zone and he's on centerline now. So come on. Oh, rudder left rudder, left rudder. Hold it. Actually, that's a lot better. That is a lot better than most. Let's just pan to the left here. Oh, yep. So that what is that? I don't know what that airline livery is, but let's see. And who is lined up? There's another A320, a Turkish A320 lined up as well. You know what? For the last hour, they've just been inbound after inbound after inbound here. It's a busy evening. So while people load into the chat, we'll just... Okay. You know what? It's gonna be a busy long. I feel like it's a short flight, but it's gonna be a long stream nonetheless. He's gonna spool up. Let's just watch him take off, and then we'll. Oh, that's Eurowings. That's apparently Eurowings actually, but the liver. Oh my goodness! What? Please tell me people aren't this bad. Where is he going? What on earth? Is that just my internet? Please tell me that's my internet. He almost stalled. Okay, it might be that bad for us when we get out there. We'll see. Reset position. Whee! Right. Okay. So here we are. Let's just reposition my thingy there. Right. And turn track IR is there. Okay. So let's jump in the aircraft. It's very loud. Let's get the storm light on. So, let's just review a few things. Hello, Ian. Good to see you. Evening. I hope the audio levels are okay for you, Ian. Let me know in the chat how the audio levels are. Right, so let's do some pre-flight briefing. I'll just show you little nav map, because little nav map is what I use primarily for my flight planning for the F28. So I'm going outbound on runway 27, and I'm going to be going outbound on the radial 248 from Spijkeborg, or Schiphol. I think that's Schiphol. Oh no, Spijkeborg is to the north. So the Schiphol VOR outbound 248, and I have a very simple flight plan directly into Detling, and then from Detling to Gatwick. So, and I'm gonna let ATC handle me whichever way they want. We're gonna go up to flight level 210. Yeah, so we're gonna be up to flight level 210. Yes, audio is okay, thank you. I just had a look at the METAR. That's the METAR at Amsterdam, for those of you who are interested. It looks absolutely horrific, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so we have our flight plan already filed. As is, like so. So what we need to do is just double check our sim brief looks okay. Let's go to our sim brief flight plan, continue. That view is, let me just tweak the view. Can I just... There we go. So there is our flight plan. We are rolling with block fuel of 5.2 tons. Cruise altitude should not be... Oh, okay, no, it is 240. Let's just adjust little nav map. Okay, that's done. So let's go to our aircraft and let's import those weights and balances. Let's auto set our trim, and let's close the door so we can hear ourselves think. And let's turn that music off, because I don't like it, and I wish I could find a way of turning off the music without having to physically come back to turn it off. But I will hopefully one day find that out. Okay, so let's go to our checklists. So, before starting APU, battery voltage. Let's check that. Battery voltage. Let's go BAT1. Looking good. We're on external power, of course, but we do have DC volts on. And then let's go look at battery 2. Yep, both are up to... Actually, both are at the low end of the band, but we should be okay. So, it's done. Battery switch on, we've already done that actually, and we've already got ground power on, so that's fine. APU fire extinguisher warning test. Now, I do seem to remember I come down here, the more I do this, APU fire extinguisher. Reset that, okay, so that does work. APU main switch on, we haven't done that yet actually, let's pop that on. Main switch goes on. Gen 3 switch off and reset. We did do that already. APU air is also off. Air conditioning main switch is one on and one off. So we've already got that set there. Okay, so the starting APU checklist. APU start button pressed. Let's press that. Get the APU fired up. Sorry about the track IR. It's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit flying all over the place for you guys while I'm looking down at the pad and then looking over to the correct area in the aircraft. TGT and RPM rise check. So let's check the TGT, which is here. It has risen and it's now stabilizing, and the RPM has now risen into the green. So we do have, yep, it's stabilizing just below 400 Celsius. APU start button extinguished approximately after 45%, and TGT and RPM stabilized. Check. Which they both have. Okay, so after starting APU, Gen 3 switch on and master radio switch on. So the Gen 3, let's go on. So we now have AC load on the Gen 3. And then we do have the master radios switched on already. So the aircraft is not in a full cold and dark state at the gate. It's already in a state where it's been previously flown. So some of these items have already been done. So this is the monster long checklist. This is the pre-flight checklist that has a horrendous amount of things. So let's go electrical power. Let's check that. So we do have electrical power on. We have, as we say, we've got the battery. We've got the external power. Let's just roll through the DC check. We've got BAT 1, of course, as we saw. True and bus. We've both loads in the green. ESS bus. Bus 2. True 2. BAT 2. And then, of course, for AC, we've got Gen 3, which is the APU, is in the green, where we like to see it. Of course, Gen 1 is going to be off, and Gen 2 is going to be off because they're the engine generators. Bus 1 is good. ESS bus is good. Bus 2, again, good. And again, Gen 2 is negative, and then external power is in the green. So we are good on electricity. I think the reason the frame rate's so bad is because every time I'm looking up and down, I'm actually panning through an area where there's all the VATSIM traffic is ahead of the aircraft. So I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way it's going to be. So emergency light switch arm, which is... I always want to go over there because that's... Yes, it's armed there. And they're the constant speed drive disconnects. Constant speed drive disconnects. Switches are guards. Guards are closed and they're wired, as you can see there. So that's good. Engine panel, check. So let's come over to the engine panel. Everything is cold and dark at the moment, as you can see. Oil and fuel is all at the ambient temperature, which is the outside air temperature now. You can see the engine panel. We've just got some pump lights and control. Hydraulics, of course. We should actually pop on the electric pump for the hydraulic systems. So we have hydraulic pressure without the engines being on at the moment. Bleed air supply panel, check. So the bleed air supply, we have air conditioning, right? So we've got something coming. No, those are the duct temperatures. The bleed air supply. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's up here. Sorry, bleed air supply. So they're all on auto, on and auto, which is where we want them to be currently. So we're all good. No issues there. Air conditioning panel. So air conditioning panel is going to be up here. Everything is on auto. Of course, we've got the 0 off, 1 on, which is as was instructed. The stewards are in control of that there, and that's on auto. And those are our duct pressures, or duct temperatures, coming through the ducts. Airfoil anti-icing panel check. Okay, so we are. Let's see, what is our outside air temperature? It is below 10 Celsius ambient. So what was that? That was the airfoil anti-icing panel. We could put these on auto, leave those on low, and the priority on the left hand side, and the pitot is already on. So engine and anti-icing panel, we checked that pitot, we did check that just now. Windshield anti-icing panel, we did just check that as well. Yeah. Pressurization panel. Okay, so we're going up to 240. So, that's not where it is. It's up here. So let's go to 240 on the pressurization panel. There it is. That's about 240. Set. Fasten seatbelt, and no smokings need to go on, as the passengers are currently on board getting ready. Okay, glare shield, nav sets on. Okay, so for the navs, our outbound navigational beacon is the Schiphol VOR, which is 108.4. So let's pop 108.4 into the box. And that was an outbound radial of 248. So let's go this way. Set. And nav 1 is selected. And that's all we need for the moment. Anti-collision light switches need to go on. So, yeah, we could have done this when we got in, but let's put the anti-collisions and the navs on at the moment. Throttle levers are idle detent. HP fuel valve levers are shut, which they are. Booster pump switches on. Okay, so with the booster pumps, the center tank is empty. So we don't, and they are indeed already on. So the left and the rights are on, but the center tanks are off, which is correct. Starter master, let's turn that on. So the starter master is up here on the engine panel. That's flipped. And the engine start selector. Oh wait, hang on. Yo, for some reason, what did I? Oh, I must have accidentally skipped down 2 checklists. I was doing the pre-flight checklist, and I was just running through issues. Okay, well we'll swivel round back on that later. So fire control guards closed. Fire control guards. These are always the bits. Oh, the fire control guards. We're gonna go a normal flat landing, I think. Actually, no, we'll probably do alternate. Actually, the fire control guards. Okay, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna just do this again, aren't we? Let's go back to checklist. This is the pre-flight. No, not this one. The one that has like 52. Yes, this one. Okay, so we are on the before the left-hand side panel. This is the glare shield. Fire control guards. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they're definitely closed, right? GPW system check. See, this is the thing that never shows up. There's one of these things that never shows up. The gust lock should definitely be on. So I'm just going to skip that. Let's just double check. Yeah, audio is okay. Okay. So let's go to the left-hand side panel now. Central warning and caution system test. So let's go and have a look where that is. Hello. Anyway, so let's just test that. Yep, they're all working. Nose wheel steering is on. Yep, that's already been set on, as you can see. Alternate wheel brake handles forward. They are indeed. All indicators check. Yeah, I did just check all the indicators there. Speed attitude command system check. So yeah. Ah, yes, okay. Yeah. So speed command test. Yeah. Yeah, for both of them. Yeah, works. Works. Okay. Works. Static pressure selector normal. Yes, that is normal indeed. Compass up for direct heading. Or compass up for direct switch. Guard closed. The guard is indeed closed. Electrical pump switches, guards closed. So they are here, and let's go closed now. Skid control, check. So you can see the hydraulic pressures are coming down. Okay, central system panel and pedestal. All indicators check. Hydraulic supply. We did just check the hydraulic supply, and we just proved that it's currently working. Fuel pressure. Well, the fuel pressure lights, yeah. Fuel filter ice lights. Filter ice. Yep, they're not on. Ooh, did we test them? Oh, that's the TVI test. Yeah, they do work. They do work. That's good. Engine fire warning, we just did that, and the TVIs we just did. Central caution lights, bright or dim, we've got that on bright. Fuel quantity, we did just check that earlier on with the checklist. Lift dumpers, check. Yep, that works, and the annunciator comes on. TTC switches need to be on takeoff, very important. They're currently on cruise, which is where I left them last time, which is persistent. Speed brake check, that's what we just did. Let's check the flaps. They're not currently working because I don't have any hydraulic pressure. But if I was to turn on the hydraulic pressure, would we have flaps? Yes, we would. Look at that. Look at that. We got the flaps. So we're coming down to flaps 11, so that definitely works. Crossfeed switch is definitely off. Booster pumps, let's check. Yeah, we have them turned on. That's fine. Transfer pumps, check. I believe that's the crossfeed. Yeah. I'm not going to turn that on. Light switches on or off. We do. Communications and avionics, check. So I will do that directly after I've done this because we need to get clearance. So I will do that. Autopilot check. So for the autopilot, we're going to go up to, well, we'll check the autopilot whenever we contact. Hydraulic flight control panel, check. Let's go and have a look at that. Oh, yes. Okay, so those all need to be forward. Yeah, they're checked. Yes, we did turn on the gust lock, and alternate landing gear handle is up. Yeah, that is also up. That is correct. Okay, getting close to the end here, guys. So the right. All indicators need to be checked on the right-hand side panel. I'm not quite sure exactly where that is actually talking about. I'm still looking at that. I'm going to say they are. Static pressure and pitot selector is on normal. Door lights have been... Let's just test the door lights. Do they show up? No, I don't know how to test the door lights. Landing gear warning switch. Normal, guard closed. That is important. Yep, it is normal, and the guard is closed. We will probably do an alternate landing flap configuration because of the gusts at Gatwick, but we'll get there when we get there. Compass up and direct compass up for DG switch. Guard closed, and it is guard closed. Okay, so the central warning and caution system test. Again, that's not working. That's not showing me what that is, so I'm going to just call it. And then the flight recorder, we don't bother with the flight recorder myself, so that's fine. Okay, so the APU. Pre-departure check with the APU running. So circuit breakers, let's go double check the circuit breakers. Where are my circuit breakers? I mean, they're modeled, but none of them are actually functional, so that's fine. Check that. Oxygen check, so that's behind the pilot seat or the first officer seat. Check there. Just double check, make sure, yep, no one said anything on the chat, so I'm not missing anything. APU air switch on. Okay, so now we bring up the air switch, and you can see the, you see what changed there with everything set to auto. The ducts opened, and we're now supplying air, pressurized air from the APU. Windshield heating switch low or off. They're currently on low. Fasten seatbelts, no smokings are on. Central warning and caution system test. Skid control, we did that. Engine warning fire, we did that. Fuel consumed indicator set. Now they are down here. I've never used this before, but there's our aircraft weight, and we've not used any fuel. Oh no, that's the fuel flow. So I've never used that. I'm gonna have to learn on that. Aircraft weight has been set. TT switches are in takeoff. Nav lights are on. Flight recorder set. Before starting engines. Okay, so we're at a position. Rudder pedals and seat harnesses adjusted and secured. Electrical power and bleed air supply has been checked. Brake pressure. Let's just check the brake pressure. Those are the temperatures. I always forget this one where these ones are. Let's go back to the before starting engine. Brake pressure. Let us learn. Okay. That's not brake pressure, that's electric. What? Why is it giving me brake pressure? These are hydraulics, not brakes. I don't understand. The parking brake is on, so let's close those now. Well, it's flaps 11. Let's close it. Fine with flaps 11. Parking brake is on. Fuel quantity has been checked. Pressurization has been set. Thrust index set. So the thrust index is basically setting your level of thrust for the ambient air temperature, which is it's about 8-9 degrees. Let's just look at the meta. Yes, 9 Celsius. Okay, so for 9 Celsius, let's pull up info. Okay, I can't look at that right now. Let's just have a look at the what am I looking for? I'm looking for the Just Flight the Just Flight F28 manual, which is in my aviation documents. There it is. Fuck F28. This is the manual. I think it was page 323 or 232. I seem to remember. Let's go 223-ish. 232. Let's go 232 and see what happens. See if my memory is actually that good. There's still aircraft on final approach. This is a busy night. Okay, here we are. Thrust index tables. So we are altitude of 0. Well, it's -4 because it's Amsterdam, but that's fine. And the outside air temperature is below 16, which is fine, which means that our thrust index should be 170. And if I look down, thrust index is already set at 170. So that's fine. That's just to make sure that check works. So thrust set, nav aids have been set. Ship's papers are on board. Takeoff data check and bugs. So with our current weight, let's go flaps 11 departure, which is 130, which has been set. Gust lock, let's not remove that yet. We'll remove that on before the threshold. Windows and doors have been closed. So that is where we are up to now. Engine start selected too. So we're at the engine start checklist section now. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to talk to delivery, and we are going to get our clearance. So with delivery up and running, we want to go to clearance deliveries are 121.98. So let's go 121.98 set. And let's just double check that. Oh, actually, yeah. What? It should be VHF 1. Delivery, hello, good evening, KLM 250 radio check.
KLM 250, reach you 5 by 5.
Thank you. KLM 250 is requesting IFR clearance as filed. Aircraft type is a Fokker F28 fellowship with no GPS.
KLM 250, flights in the western direction must be on an even flight level, so can you accept flight level 200 or 220?
Flight level 220 is fine for us, thank you. We'll take that, KLM 250.
KLM 250, I changed your request flight level to flight level 220. Cleared to London Gatwick, departure instructions from Tower, runway 27. Initial climb flight level 60, squawk 7337.
IFR flight plan as filed to destination Gatwick. Clearance will come from the tower. Runway departure is runway 27. Altitude to climb to is flight level 60 and squawk 7337. KLM 250.
KLM 250, read back correct. Report fully ready.
We'll report ready for push and start, KLM 250. Okay, so...
KLM 1139 fully ready with Echo on board.
So...
KLM 1139, information Foxtrot current QNH 9998, contact ground 121.
Double check, everyone in the chat, everyone in the chat is peachy.
On, 805
let's just... Let's just tweak him down slightly. Okay, so... squawk is 7337 set. Initial climb is 6,000, which is set. Runway takeoff runway is runway 27, which we were expecting. And let's just grab ATIS. Obviously, we should have done that before we asked for clearance, but maximum 35 knots. That's crazy. Degrees variable between 280 and 340. Yeah, visibility 10 kilometers or more. Clouds few at 2500. Cumulus temperature at 8, dew point 3. QNH 998. Wow, that's low. Hectopascal, no significant change. Operational report, contact approach, call sign only, noise abatement. NADP 2, procedures shall be applied. Acknowledge information Foxtrot. Estimated time, log off time Zulu. Okay, okay, let me request push and start. Okay. Okay, we are good to go. We are on the APU and have been for a while, so let's take off ground power. Yeah, and there's ground power has come off. Let's disengage ground power. And essentially take the chocks out as well. So we're literally sitting on the parking brake with no hydraulic pressure. Yay! Okay, so let's call it ready for push and start, or ready for departure. Schiphol delivery, KLM 250 is ready for push and start.
KLM 250, information Foxtrot, QNH 9998, contact ground 121.805. Bye-bye.
Frequency 121.805 for KLM 250. Thank you. Good evening. Okay. 121.805. So let's go to 121 and let's go 805. Set. KLM ground, good evening. Schiphol ground, good evening. KLM 250 with you, requesting push and start. Information Foxtrot on QNH 998.
First Finnair 223, contact tower 109.230.
119.230.
That was rusty.
KLM 250, pushback is startup approved.
Push is start approved, KLM 250, thank you. Okay, push.
Subground, goedenavond, KLM 901XV, vacate to runway 27 on a taxi.
Navs and anti-collisions are on.
KLM 901XV, taxi to stand Delta 31.
Delta 31, KLM 901XV.
And Speedbird 1165, was that you calling up for taxi as well?
Taxi to Echo 2.
Speedbird 1165, you may taxi to stand Delta 16.
Roger, Delta 16 for Speedbird 1.
And there we go. Okay.
Speedbird 1165, give away to the KLM from right to left at Alpha 13.
Okay, so the start is happening. Let's get the weather radar on standby. Let's watch the high pressure coming up to about 15. Once it hits 15, we go to start on the right-hand engine, which is about now. Now the engine ignition is starting, and that the high pressure will begin to continue to rise. We just monitor the TGT is beginning to rise. Once the TGT hits 400, then we bring the fuel lever from start to open.
Via Sierra 8 cross runway 24, via Echo 4 cross runway 18 left.
Echo input November 1 runway 27, via Sierra 8 cross runway 24, Echo 1 cross runway.
Parking brake set.
Port Express 416, it's via Echo 4, cross runway 18 left.
Echo 4 runway 18 left. Port Express 116.
Okay, we barely made 400 Celsius there. That's the first time I've ever questioned an engine start. So let's just watch the left engine very carefully.
Good evening, 15 Bravo 23, ready for start with information Foxtrot.
Okay,
so as we should correctly
that's
see,
two
there's
stations
about
at once.
15.
Confirm Lumi 15. Yeah, you are trusting push to start.
Affirm, ready for push to start with information Foxtrot.
Lumi 15, pushback is startup approved.
Push start approved for Lumi 15.
Mm-hmm. Okay, oil pressure's now coming up. Yep. TGT almost makes it to 400. I wonder why it doesn't make it quite to 400. It used to before, but maybe it's the ambient outside air temperature. But then I have flown in much colder climates than this, and it's always made it to 400. I'm not quite sure about that. Okay, so let's get the taxi light on so that we can see where we're going. That hardly constitutes a taxi light.
KLM 778, taxi please.
KLM 778, taxi to holding point November runway 27 at Echo 4, cross runway 18 left.
Something isn't
Echo
quite
4,
right
cross
here.
18 left, KLM 778.
And KLM 1139er, when the company aircraft has passed from right to left, pushback is startup approved.
Lego, the company behind, clear push start, KLM 1139er.
Oh, the taxi. Okay, right. I extended it, but I didn't have it on. Okay, that's fine. Right, so the APU is on. So both
KLM
engines.
907 Alpha, contact tower 119.230.
The starter can come off because we've got Gen 1 and 2 on. We can now bring the APU and the APU gens off. Okay, so we'll go red. Okay, before engine, I've done all of that. After starting, Central warding, all of those lights are now out. HB fuel levers, they're on open. Fuel pressure lights are out. Ignition lights are both out. Starter valve light is out. Yep. Starter master switch we turned off. Generator lights went out. Gen 3 switches off. APU, so I did a couple of things with there without consulting the checklist, but I'm just following up. APU air switch went off. Air conditioning main both went on. Yep. AC and DC check. So let's just check the AC and DC. AC DC, I do like a bit of AC DC. So the bat's fine. True is now on. Bus is now on. ESS bus is fine. Bus 2 is good. True 2 is good. Bat 2 is good. Off. So Gen 3 is off, obviously, because Gen 3 is the APU. Gen 1 is fine. Bus 1 is fine. ESS bus is fine. Bus 2 is also fine. Gen 2 is also good. External power is off. Obviously, now we're off external power. Okay. Engine anti-ices need to be on or auto. We've got them on auto, which is fine. Windshield heating low or off, we have them on low. Pitos are on. Hydraulic supply.
Lumi 15, taxi to holding point November runway 27 at Echo 4, cross runway 18.
Good. Electric pump switches are off. Guards are closed.
Holding point November 1 runway 27 at Echo 4, we're going to cross 18 left.
Flight control lights are out. Yeah. And the flaps have been set. So taxi checklist. So we can call for taxi. KLM 250 is ready for taxi.
KLM 250, taxi to holding point November 1 runway 27 at Echo 4, cross runway 18 left.
Taxi holding point November 1 via for runway 27 via Echo 4 and cross runway 18 left. KLM 250. Okay, so let's just zoom in there and have a look where we are. Okay, so he's given me November 1, which is there. Okay, let me just drag this across. So he's given me November 1, runway 27, via Echo 4, which is here. And then he's cleared me across runway 2, runway 18 left, which is this one here. So it's essentially up the outside rim, which is, he automatically doesn't need to tell me that because that's mandatory at Amsterdam. That's an Amsterdamism. That's the word I was trying to find. Amsterdamism. Sorry guys, my brain. Right, so let's go off with the parking brake and bring up the engines, and away we go. Remembering, of course, that we still have the gust lock on, and we will have the gust lock on all the way until...
KLM 778, contact tower 109.230.
119.230, KLM 778. See you and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Very good evening, Swift 34. It's Ben Sheeran and 2 is ready for push and start.
Okay, we're going to have to turn right here.
Swift 34,
and then a
pushback
left.
startup approved, facing Sierra 8.
Push and start approved, facing Sierra 8 for Swift 34.
Okay. All is well with the world currently. Okay, flight instruments set and checked. We did that earlier on. So we're on nav 1, radial 248.
Will Express 416, contact tower 119.230.
Let's set 10 degrees. 10 degrees nose up. on the bug. Let's not taxi at 24 knots. Tap the brakes. I've actually got the engines at idle, so no need for more thrust at the moment. And let's go heading hold. So the true heading of runway 27 is 265. So let's pre-select 265 on the heading.
Ground today, KLM 93 Romeo, ready to push start gate Delta 46 with information Foxtrot.
KLM 93 Romeo, pushback and start approved.
265 set.
Push and start approved, King 93 Romeo.
We did set the trims. Collision tank indicators are black. The coal tanks, yep. Flaps we have set to 11 and crew briefing is complete. So lining up checklist. We will do that at the hold. Okay, everything is looking good. Good. Just bump the engines a little bit there. We're going to be on heading hold, but...
KLM 1139, requesting taxi.
KLM 1139er, taxi to holding point November 1, runway 27 at Echo 4, cross runway 18 left.
November 1 and Echo 4, cross 18 left, 1139er.
And I believe when we get to November 1, we just automatically contact tower. I don't think we get handed off. It's far too quiet on frequency for the controller to be manually handing off people to the tower. It's just expected that when you get to the tower, to the hold point, you contact the tower frequency. I know that Amsterdam has a few automations in its taxi flow on the ground, such as this taxiway here.
Good evening, Shamrock 611, stand Delta 22, information Foxtrot, request push and start please.
There's an aircraft taking off.
611, pushback and start approved.
Pushback and start approved, Shamrock 611.
There's another one lining up.
Lumi 15, contact tower 109.230.
Okay, Echo 3. This is Echo 3 coming up. Ours is Echo 4, which is the right-hand turn after this one. So, just not over speed or anything crazy here. There's a taxiing KLM. And he's going to have to stop, because I'm turning left. Okay, and he's given me a free cross of the runway. I don't need to contact anyone. I can cross runway 18 left with no issues. And then I'm just going to line up behind these two departing aircraft. So once I get on the brakes, I will change frequency. Look at these aircraft lined up. Isn't this beautiful? This is a Shamrock A320 coming in. We're going to cross a taxiway intersection here. And I feel like this aircraft is really liking to taxi quite fast this evening. But then...
KLM 250, contact tower 119.230.
119.230 for KLM 250, thank you. Okay, so he's given me... a manual taxi, or a manual handoff.
KLM 1139, contact tower 109.230.
109.230, veiligheidsdag, KLM 1139.
So the tower is EHAM
Tower, goedenavond, KLM.
Why is he just sat right there? Excuse me, mate. Sorry. So the tower is 11923. Let me just get on brakes before. Set.
Shamrock 60 Alpha, holding shot at Bravo.
Shamrock 60 Alpha, komt de ground 121.805, welkom to Schiphol.
121.805, dank u wel.
Lumi 15, line from way to runway 27. Runway 27, Lumi 15.
So that's his lineup instruction. So now let's actually pre-select. So EHAM Tower, is the departure gone offline? It looks like departure's gone offline. Yeah, departure has gone offline. Actually, there's no center. There's no EHAM center, so it's just Unicom after this. That's crazy. Oh well. Okay, 122.8 is set on nav 2, so we can just go nav 2 after departure, and then that clears up nav 1 for us to tune the London frequencies.
Lumi 15, cleared for takeoff, wind 310 degrees, 24 knots, gusting 35. 27 clear for takeoff, Lumi 15.
Okay, on the line items, brake temperatures check. They are both good. APU is off, that is correct.
KLM 250 in sequence, line from way runway 27.
In sequence, line up and wait runway 27, KLM 250. Okay, blah 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 blah. Flight controls, check. Let's just make sure that we've got our gust lock off. And our
KT 10, correction, KT 2014, contact ground 11805, welkom.
hydraulic pressures are all good in the green. Your damper switch, let's put that in. Transponder is on. On. Landing light switches, extend and on. And let's get the strobe on as well. Okay, done. After takeoff checklist. Line up and wait. Here we go. So that aircraft that just took off before us was called KLM 69 November, and I'm expecting Tower to hand them off to Unicom, because I don't see any onward frequency at the moment. So that's going to be, yeah, there's... Oh, actually, no, we do have an approach, a 121-205. Crap. 121, let's go 205.
KLM 250, fly runway heading, climb 3,000 feet, runway 27, cleared for takeoff, with 310 degrees, 24 knots, gusting 35.
Clear takeoff runway 27, climb on the runway heading up to 3,000 feet, KLM 250. Let's just make sure that...
Lumi 15, no further ATC, Unicom 122 right. Oh, actually, no, this
Lumi 15.
That's
Power set. Let's get on these rudder pedals here, because we know we've got some bad winds here. Oh, that is a lot of rudder input already. Oh my. Gear up.
KLM 1139 line for meter met u zijn.
Line of 8, 27, 1139.
Oh, Denzel.
Jezus, duurt lang.
Ja, sorry, nu left het. KLM 250, context departure, 121.205, bye bye.
121.205, good evening, KLM 250. Okay. Oh, I was supposed to hold at 3,000. Departure, good evening, KLM 250 with you, heading 265 and maintaining 3,600.
KLM 250, hello, could I identify the climb flight level 130?
Climb flight level 130, KLM 250. That was my mistake, because he gave me the departure. Pitch up. Let's actually increase thrust, and let's try and hit 250 knots.
Tomjet 465, contact tower 119.230, bye bye.
119.230, Tomjet 465.
Well, just climb on.
With 6 Tango Papa, ascend flight level 40, turn right heading 070.
Flight level 40, right heading 6036, Tango Papa.
KLM 895, Vectors ILS, correction, straight in ILS 27, information Delta is current, descent level 40.
Straight in ILS 27, descending flight level 40, information Delta is in more KLM 895.
Let's go into IAS hold.
Schiphol departure, goedenavond, KLM 139er.
KLM 139er, goede avond, identified climb flight level 130.
130 for 139er.
KLM 895, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220, KLM 895.
Swiss 6 Tango Papa, speed 250 knots or greater.
25 or greater, Swiss 6 Tango Papa.
Ice detected. Let's go IAS hold now.
KLM 250, are you able to pick up deadlink VOR yet?
We'll let you know in a second here. 17.3. 17.3. Let's go 17. Oh.
KLM 250 for now. Turn left heading 245.
Turn left heading 245, KLM 250.
KLM 1139 en Afric Server, Unicom, hele fijne avond, bye bye.
Unicom, doei joep.
Joe, misschien tot zo.
Ja, misschien.
Misschien, oké, doei.
KLM discussion 66 Papa seems like we made a mistake with.
Oh, 17.3.
Swiss 6 Tango Papa, you were cleared to 40. Okay, descend 3000 feet, QNH 998 hectopascals.
Yeah, my bad. Descend to 3000, QNH 998 hectopascals, Swiss 6 Tango Papa, thank you.
KLM 905, descend 2000 feet, QNH 998 hectopascals. After Titvo, cleared ILS 27.
Descending 2000 QNH 998 after Titvo cleared ILS 727, KLM 905.
Swiss 6 Tango Papa, speed 180 knots.
180 Swiss 6 Tango Papa.
KLM 250, make that a right turn heading 255 now.
Right hand turn 255 for KLM 250. We could alternately fly an outbound radial from Schiphol 248 maybe?
Let me have a look here, stand by.
Departure, good evening, Shamrock 611, passing 3900, flight level 60, Burger 2 Papa departure.
Shamrock 611, good evening, identified, climb flight level 130.
Climb flight level 130, Shamrock 611.
KLM 250, can you make that a outbound radial, outbound radial 249 from Sierra Papa Lima, that should bring you on course to Deadling VR.
Outbound radial from Sierra Papa Lima of 249er for KLM 250, no worries. We're about 80 nautical miles away from Detling, thanks. Right, so he's given us an outbound course on of 249er. So let's go and pick that up. Like a bunch of absolute lads. Up through 10,000 feet, let's bring the no smoking and seatbelt signs off. Whew!
Shamrock 611, nothing server, Unicom, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom, Shamrock 611, bye-bye.
So that wasn't as...
With 6 Tango Papa, turn left heading 010.
010
that wasn't as horrendous as I was expecting it to be, wind-wise.
250, just report established on the radio.
We're just establishing now on the radio 249er for KLM 250, thanks.
Copy.
I've got some shortbread for the cruise. Courtesy of some friends.
With 6 Tango Papa,
for Christmas.
320.
I just hear Ian's ears prick up to the sound of shortbread. Am I right that you just kind of came to attention there, Ian? Right, so let's continue the after takeoff checklist. Engine, yeah, they're on auto pressurization. Let's just double check the pressurization.
903 Romeo identified, climb flight level 130.
Yeah, pressurization is happening. Fasten seatbelts are...
250, radial 249er should put you on course to Deadling VOR. You are leaving my airspace, so 1 at Unicom, 122.8, and have a nice flight, bye-bye.
122.8 for Unicom and Wilco. Thank you. Have a good evening, KLM 250. Right. Let's go QNH 122.8. .8 set on VHF2, so we're ready to just relax a little bit and double check to make sure. Yep, no, that's just engaged. We're on the beam, and let's go up to flight level 220, which is what he gave me. Let's go IAS 220. Continue climb. Yep, flight level 250 knots. Okay. Oh! I was like, why are we not capturing? That's crazy. Why are we not capturing our radial? Why are we not turning left to come onto that radial? But we have a 98 knot crosswind. A 98 knot crosswind. That's crazy. At only 13,000 feet. You can see my engine exhaust, and you can see the angle that the aircraft is based on the engine exhaust. I need to turn off my my logo light, actually. Why is my logo light on? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so we are apparently flying that radial, but we're flying at an offset of like 15 degrees. Ridiculous. I don't know that we'll make I don't know that we'll make I don't know that we'll make flight level 220. There's some weird reason why I do not have the power right now, and I do not know why. That is, I should have a ton of power. But I'm only making 500 feet per minute at 250 knots. This is weird. I don't quite know what's going on. I've never had this experience before. Why is it that I'm so underpowered? I don't know. And it's a little bit scary. I normally have a ton more power than that. Hey there, Aqua Vital. Ah, Shortbread eating Xmas prezzies early. Tut tut. Well, someone's got to, Ian. Someone's got to. Someone's got to share the burden. It's just me and my wife at the moment. You know, we've got to. You know, we've got to. We can't just have it all at once. You know, it would just be a shock to the system, wouldn't it? Got to spread out the calories, man. I am a bit miffed as to why I'm not getting the power out of my engines. I know that the F28 is far more capable. I do not know. I'm just looking over all the different systems. I don't know. I shouldn't be getting 400 feet per minute. You absolute idiot. You absolute idiot. You were climbing up with flaps 11. I've been climbing with flaps 11 still set all the way up to 16,000 feet. What an idiot. Of course. My performance. Of course, there's lots more drag. Look at 2,000 feet per minute now. Look at that. We'll be there in no time. Whew. Oh, I was wondering. I was like, oh, we won't make flight level 220 by the time we're... Wow. Okay. What an idiot. I was in the rush of the... That's why I should have paid attention to my checklist. And London Control has gone offline as well. But we still have Gatwick Director. Okay, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm quickly going to go use the bathroom. While the aircraft... Actually, no. I'm going to level out. I'm going to level out and adjust power because there's no auto throttle. I would just destroy the aircraft. Been there, done that. And I'm going to have a piece of shortbread. Oh, the delectability. Oh, he's just come back online. Okay. Okay, we've now left the VOR. So let's just tune the inbound VOR, which should be 249 on nav2, which is 17.3. So we will wait until we capture that. Okay, 1,000 feet to go. Yeah, that would do it, yeah. That would definitely do it. Yeah, I was almost firewalling the throttles, and I was only making like 400 feet per minute. I was like, there is something definitely wrong. And I was checking, and I came around to the flaps. I was like, Of course, you've got no speed tape. You know, it's an older aircraft. You've got no CDU with a speed tape, which is showing you that you have a flap restriction. You literally just ball it down you ball it up to 16,000 feet, and you're like, oh, I still have my flaps out. Okay, there is my cruise, and I'm just going to throttle back to just below 90% high pressure, which is usually where cruise kind of sits. And I'm going to go quickly use the bathroom before I need it any more than this. And then we'll start setting up for talking to London and coming into Gatwick. So be back in a second. Okay, at least I'm not overspeeding, but I am underspeeding. Let's just bump up the engine slightly. There we go. Okay, so what we are going to have to do at Gatwick is we are going to have to plan for a missed approach, because that's just the way it is. Oh my goodness, that wind is horrendous. We've got 122 knot crosswind at 122 knot crosswind. That is horrendous. Okay. I mean, you usually only see that up at 35,000 feet, but I saw earlier today the airspeed of the wind up at 30,000 feet was 200 knots, which I've never in my life seen that anywhere. Let me just go check windy.com. Let's see what it is over the UK at the moment. Let's go up to 30,000 feet. It's like 180. It's like 180. But earlier on it was like 199 knot wind at 30,000 feet. Anyway, right, let's get set up for Gatwick. We've got actually pretty favourable winds at Gatwick. Let's have a look. 16 knots, pretty much on the nose for 26. QNH 1010. No ceiling. Good visibility. 11 knots. VFR, effectively. So we should be set up for a pretty nice 16 knot headwind landing. But I want to tune. I want to set up for in case we do a missed approach. So, but before we do that, let's set up on nav 1, London South, which is 129.43. So let's put 129.43. 129.43 set. Let's just edge down. Let's hold maybe 90% on the high pressure. That's probably good for a cruise. We don't want to be any faster than Mach 0.7, which is fine. Okay, so we've got London South on Com 1. We're currently on Com 2, and we talk to him when we pretty much get to Detling. But by the time we get to Detling, we'll already be in the descent. So we should pick up Detling any minute now. So we'll watch for that, and we're going to be off course because, of course, we've got 120 knot crosswind. But we'll just wait for that VOR to kick in. Should be any minute now. Come on. Oh, there we go. Boom. We have a signal. We don't see a DME2 has just kicked in. Oh, there we go. Goodness me. Right, let's go heading hold. Let's get ourselves over there. Goodness me. And let's arm the beam preemptively, so that we get on that 249 inbound radial to Detling. Goodness me, that's quite an offset there. But we'll be okay. Okay, so let's grab Navigraph and let's go to Gatwick. It's going to be approach 26 left. It's going to be ILS 26 left. Let me grab The Gatwick ATIS. Oh. Right click, request controller info. Information India. Let's just rip off those post-it notes. India. Runway in use, yep, 26 left, which is what I expected. Okay. Right, so 26 left, transition, flight level 75, surface wind 280 at 16 knots, visibility 10 kilometers, fuel at 4,100 feet, temperature 11, dew point 4, QNH 1010. Information India is current. Yeah, so it's basically runway 26 left, which is what I expected. So for the ILS, the initial approach, ILS DME. Now, missed approach though. What is the missed approach? For final, so it's initial approach, final approach 21. Oh, here we go. Okay, right. Okay, we've just picked up that. Oh my goodness, we're going fast. Right, so it's 110.9. It's 110.9, and the heading is 257. The missed approach would no, which is the normal missed approach. Missed approach climbed 3,000. So 3,000. Straight ahead until passing 2,000. Actually, yeah. Straight ahead until passing 2,000 or distance 1 of India Whiskey, outbound, inbound, whichever is later. Then turn left onto 178, then is directed. Okay, so that is what we have prepped for the missed approach of runway 26 left. We have picked up the VOR while I was talking. And coming inbound. So we could actually choose yeah, we could tune pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close to our top of descent point. So let's go checklists, descent, fasten seatbelts, pressurization, TT switches on takeoff, landing data checked and bugs set, crew briefing. Okay, so it's not too crazy. You can see the lights of Greater London. Yeah, so let's start descending. So let's set our altitude down to 3,000. Set. And let's go nudge that down a little bit. Reduce thrust. Begin about a 500 feet per minute descent. Just pull the engines back. And nose down slightly more. Silence that horn. Okay. Okay, let's tune him now.
Bravo for runway 20. and report ready.
126.825.
Roger, taxi 1 Bravo 20 and will call when ready.
Okay, so I've got the approach Gatwick approach controller on COM 2.
And via Alpha 3, line up from runway 27 right.
Alpha 3, hold the 27 right and hold speedbird 675.
Speedbird 12 X-ray 27 left, you are clear to land the wind.
Right, 27 left for speedbird 12 X-ray.
Morning
control, good evening, Fly 14 Kilo, just confirm we're with you for London Sea.
Fly 14 Kilo, yeah, continue approach for runway 27.
Continue 27, Flyer 14 Kilo.
Shuttle 2, Mike, climb now, flight level 180.
LMR 800, flight level 400.
Fall down Rock 800, under control, hello, descend now, flight level 130, expedite descent.
Descend 130, expedite descent. LMR 800.
London, hello, KLM 250 with you, descending through flight level 190.
KLM 250, London control, hello to you. Turn left now, heading 150 degrees. Reduce speed 250 knots.
Turn left, heading 150 and reduce to 250, KLM 250.
Alpine 36 Quebec Mike, thank you. It's a bit busy. Alpine 36 Quebec Mike, flyer heading of 210 degrees and reduce speed to 250 knots.
Roger, fly heading 210 and speed 250, Alpine 36 Quebec Mike.
Lufthansa 4 Hotel. To X-ray ground 121705.
Well, ground 121.705. Thank you and Merry Christmas.
Goodbye. Seabird 675, 27 right, the wind is 28 degrees.
Okay, so we're okay with the fasten seatbelts until we get to 10,000. Let's.
Fly 3 to go, 127 London City, fully ready.
London, very good evening. Quid Concorde 1, we are currently at Alpha Ron, requesting IFAR clearance to Andrews.
Clearance shortly. Flyer 32 Golf runway 27, cleared for takeoff, landing traffic at 6 miles, the wind is 28 degrees at 16.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27 and copy the traffic, Flyer 3 to Golf.
7 Bravo, confirm descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, Virgin 37 Bravo, thank you.
Blue line 8 Whiskey Alpha, climb flight level 180.
Conf level 180, Blue line 8 Whiskey Alpha.
Speed 1.
Thank you for going to control.
Seabird 53 Hotel, 27 left, clear to land, the wind 28 degrees at 5.
Quiver.
Radar retro call now on 119.730, that's 119730. Shuttle 2 Mike, monitor Unicom 122.8.
Shuttle 2 Mike, thanks, bye.
I mean,
speed by 7
we have an we have an 88 knot tailwind.
Direct timber, descend flight level 100.
Direct to timber and flight level 100, Alpine 36 Quebec Mike.
London Control, Griffin 369, level 4,000 feet.
Just stand by, easy 62 Delta Charlie, contact Gatwick 126.825.
126.825 for easy 62 Delta.
20 knots.
Reduce speed to 220 knots, Virgin 37 Bravo.
Flyer 14 Kilo, clear to land runway 27, the surface wind 28 degrees at 16.
Clear to land runway 27, Flyer 14 Kilo.
Griffin 369 under control. For hotel, climb flight level 370.
Climb 370, left hand.
I'm out over the I'm out over the English Channel now. I'm down south.
KLM 250, turn right, heading 250 degrees and your speed 250 knots.
Turn right, heading 250 and speed 250, KLM 250.
Am I missing anyone?
No control, Valiant 9 Zulu, passing flight level 302.
Valiant 9 Zulu, London Control. Hello, where are you calling from?
Coming down through 13,000 feet on QNH 1010, which is the Gatwick local QNH. Seatbelts and no smokings are going to go in soon.
Descend flight level 90.
It's going to be a flaps 25 landing because of the speed. I want to keep my my airspeed up because of the headwind.
Legend 37 Bravo, thank you, good night.
Okay, turning right, heading 250. And he will give me a further turn to the right at some point soon.
This is about 500, goodbye. Alpine 36, Quebec Mike, contact director 126.825.
126825, Alpine 36, Quebec Mike, see ya.
KLM 250, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, KLM 250.
Climb now, flight level 100.
Climb now, flight level 100, fly 32 Golf.
Blue line 8, Whiskey Alpha, Monitor Unicom 122.8.
128 Blue line, 8 Whiskey Alpha, bye now.
DBID 800, descend flight level 90.
Should be, he gave me
90.
He gave me flight level, which is on standard barometric
Royal
pressure.
Air
So.
Maroc 800, descend flight level 90. Anyone else?
Ready for departure, London City.
KLM 13 Papa, Roger, runway 27, you clear to take off the surface wind 280 degrees 16.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27, KLM 13 Papa.
KLM 18 Golf, London Control, hello, climb now, flight level 190.
Flight level 190, KLM 18 Golf.
EG6402, you with me? Royal Air Maroc 800, descend flight level 90.
I'm just getting pushed down the English Channel.
Royal Maroc 800.
KLM 250, route direct. See that?
Say again for 250?
KLM 250, are you able to route direct waypoint Timber?
Negative, we don't have GPS. We are radials and VORs only.
KLM 28, good correction, KLM 250, turn right heading 280 degrees, descend flight level 100.
Turn right heading 280 and descend flight level 100, KLM 250.
Griffin 369, climb flight level.
Direct Dakar. Griffin 369. Flight 07, Oliphant Bravo, runway 20 and Southampton, approach to departure.
Flight Errol 7, thank you. Hold position, clearances to Innsbruck. Correction, routing Hazel, direct Nidgo. Flight level 410, squawk 1073.
Walk 10.
London KLM 250. We could route direct May VOR, if that would make you feel any better.
Hang on, I'm just talking to someone else. So just confirm it's Hazel.
Oh, sorry.
KLM 250, no, it's alright. If you turn right heading 290 degrees, please, and descend flight level 90.
Turn right heading 29er and descend flight level 90.
Cow. 371 Foxtrot Juliet, thank you, descend now, flight level 180, expedite descent.
Level 180, expedite Seabird 71 Foxtrot Juliet, thanks.
Quid Concorde 1, just need to get another aircraft ahead of you, and then I will get you airborne. Squawk 0363.
Just a squawk again for Quid Concorde 1.
Squawk 0363.
Down through 10,000. Let's get the seatbelts on.
Easy 6402, thank you. Squawk 3523.
Still got 63 knot crosswind at 8,000 feet.
Heading to Gatwick 126.825.
That's crazy. 9,000 level.
KLM 250 report heading in.
Heading is 290 KLM 250. 126.825.
London Control, Speedbird 675, Brookman's Park, request climb to 290.
Feet inbound.
Apologise, I put the 30 and it sent me this way. I'll head 040 right now.
No worries. 86-2 Delta Charlie, turn left 295, when established on the localizer, descend with the glide path.
Heading 295 and when established on the localizer, descend with the glide path, easy 6207.
Spirit 71 Echo Delta, contact the tower 124230, bye bye.
Bye bye, 124230, bye bye, Speedbird 71 Echo Delta.
Gatwick approach, KLM 250 with you, currently flight level 90 and holding heading 290.
KLM.
Gatwick approach, KLM 250 is currently flight level 90 and holding heading 290.
Thought so. $82-3 Echo Victor, descend 3,000 feet.
3000 feet, easy, T3 Echo Victor.
Did he even hear me?
Alpine 36 Quebec Mike, turn right heading 040 degrees, descend 5,000 feet.
A right turn 040, descend 5,000, Alpine 36 Quebec Mike.
Lufthansa 221, confirm on heading 180 as per the go around.
Flight missile approach as published, Lufthansa
86 Delta Charlie, 160 knots, still 4 DME, contact the tower 124230. Delta Charlie, 160.
11624, contact tower for easy 62, that's what I'm saying.
82-3 Echo Victor, turn left heading 345.
Left heading 345, easy, T3 Echo Victor.
Alpine 36 Quebec Mike, descend 3,000 feet.
Descend 3,000, Alpine 36 Quebec Mike.
Lufthansa 221, turn left heading 055, speed 220 knots.
turn left heading 055, 220 knots, Lufthansa 2.
Virgin 37 Bravo, confirm you're at flight level 80 as instructed. Flight level 80.
Apologies, I will ascend to flight level 80 now, Virgin 37 Bravo.
Avalon 36 Quebec Mike, speed 220 knots, make a left turn heading 010 degrees. Gatwick Director.
Is that for KLM 250?
Yes, sir. I have tried to call you about 3 times. Just to confirm, are you able to hold at Timber?
Negative, we have no GPS. We are VOR to VOR requesting vectors or radials for KLM 250. I've also tried contacting you 3 times as well. I don't know how that's not worked.
KLM 250, fly heading 280 degrees, descend 6,000 feet. The QNH is 1010.
Fly heading 280, descend 6,000, QNH 1010, KLM 250. Thank you.
82-3 Echo Victor, left 290 degrees, 1 established, descend glide path.
290 degrees, 1 established, along the glide path, EGKK Echo Victor.
And 136, Quebec 1. I assume that was you checking in. Enter the hold at flight level 90 at Willow, left-hand turns as published.
Hold at Timber, left hand, EG6
I understand they're very busy, but yet, if they saw that I was a Fokker F28 fellowship, yeah, VATSIM's not set up for people to fly aircraft like this. But I'm not going to get onto that now. Okay, altimeters have been set. Anti-icing check. Our ambient outside air temperature.
180, Alpine 36, Quebec 9.
Lufthansa 221, turn left heading 030 degrees.
Turn left heading 030, Lufthansa.
KLM 250, turn right heading.
I'm sorry, you cut off. Say that again for 250. Could you say that again for 250? You cut off.
KLM 250, turn right heading 040.
040, KLM 250. He keeps cutting off, as you can hear.
Right heading 040 degrees. 040 degrees, right turn please.
It sounds, yep. 126.825. That is what I'm on.
Alpine 36 Quebec Mike, left 285, 1 established, descend with the glide path.
Left 285, 1 established, descend with the glide, Alpine 36 Quebec Mike.
EG23 Echo Victor, 160 knots, still 4 DME.
160 knots, still 4 DME, EG23 Echo Victor.
23 Echo Victor, tower 124230, bye.
1.
This is KLM 250. Sorry that I'm not being able to be heard properly, but I am on 040. I am VHF 2.
Speed 180. Check. KLM 250, Gatwick Director.
Go ahead for KLM 250. Can you hear me?
I can now. 0 degrees, descend to 3,000 feet now.
I didn't hear the first part, but I heard descend to 3,000 feet, KLM 250.
So left turn heading 350 degrees.
Left turn 350 and descend 3,000, KLM 250. Goodness sake, this is not the time for VATSIM to start playing up.
KLM 250, confirm a left turn heading 350 now.
Hey, firm. I'm really...
71 Echo Delta, turn left heading 055, speed 220 knots.
Left 055 and speed 220 knots, deeper 7 Echo Delta.
Virgin 37 Bravo, let's get you out of the hold. Then fly heading 060 degrees, speed 220 knots.
Heading 060 degrees and flying 220 knots, Virgin 37.
Quebec Mike, contact the tower 124230.
Tower 124230, 36 Quebec Mike, thank you very much.
Lufthansa 221 left 290 degrees, one established on the localizer, descend with the glide path. Zero radio check. Virgin 37 Bravo, descend to altitude 6.
It is patchy as.
Descend to altitude 6,000 feet and QNH is 1010, Virgin 37 Bravo.
Hopefully, tower controller will be better.
Virgin 37 Bravo, turn left heading 045, descend to altitude 5,000 feet.
Let's reduce speed
Turn
here.
left heading 0.
Do you want any speed restriction for?
Lufthansa 221 160 to 4 DME and contact the tower 124230.
160 for DME and 124230, Lufthansa 221.
Easy 6402, descend to flight level 80 and confirm you're in the hold at Willow now.
Yes, affirm at hold at Willow and descend to 086.
Okay, let's arm the beam and the glide. Okay, speed 160 knots to 4 DME. Okay. There's about 160. And we've got the glide armed as well.
AG 6402, your hold is...
Director, good day, speed battle.
Okay, there's the glide. Okay, here we go. Gear coming down. Gatwick Tower, KLM 250 with you, established 26 left.
KLM 250, Gatwick Tower, hello, continue approach, runway 26 left, number 1.
Continue approach, 250.
Lufthansa 221, surface winds 290 degrees, 17 knots, runway 26 left, clear to land.
Let's just maintain.
Runway 26 left, Lufthansa 2.
Okay, flaps.
Alpha Delta Romeo behind the arriving Lufthansa A320 via Charlie 1, runway 26 left, line up and wait behind.
Let's maintain 160 knots. And who is our ground controller? Is 121805. Set. Okay, yeah, we've got. Okay, this is where we're going to set up in case we have a go around. Let's just brief that again. The missed approach is climb straight ahead to 3000, and when passing 2000 or 1 DME from India Whiskey Whiskey, whichever is later, then turn left onto heading 178. So at 2000 feet we then go 178. Okay, so we're still on the approach at
129430. Merry Christmas. Easy 37 Delta Foxtrot.
Papa Delta Romeo, surface winds 290 degrees.
Okay, let's reduce to our
Lufthansa 221. Second right onto Juliet. Contact Gatwick ground 121.805.
Yes, second onto Juliet.
Let's
and
reduce to final approach speed.
Lufthansa 221, and we are able to cross the run.
Lufthansa 221, firm.
Roger. Merry Christmas, Lufthansa.
Merry Christmas, bye-bye.
Once we get down to 200 feet, we might have a go around if he's not clear of the runway.
290 degrees, 17 knots, runway 26 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 26 left, KLM 250. Okay, autopilot off. Alright, let's try this. That was a go around ahead of me, so we'll see how this goes.
EG54. Quebec Bravo after arriving KLM F28 via Alpha 1, runway 26 left, line up and wait behind.
We don't have taxi light on, but never mind. We'll deal with that later.
Alpha Delta Romeo, contact landing control now, 129er, decimal 430, bye-bye.
129er, 430, Merry Christmas, Alpha.
Stop, bye-bye.
Speed brake out. Woof! Glad to be down. Oh. Vacated via Echo.
Take off 265, easy 54, Quebec, bye.
KLM 250, taxi via 0 left and Tango hold short Juliet.
Taxi via runway 8 left via Tango and hold short of Juliet, KLM 250. Okay, I can see that. That whole thing was just stressful. Ha! How did I get down on all these big guys are doing go-arounds? Interesting. I think, yeah, this is Tango. Hold short of Juliet, I think.
30, take 2, easy 54, Quebec, bye, thanks, bye.
KLM 250, contact Gatwick ground 121.805, bye-bye.
121.805, thanks, KLM 250. Gatwick ground. Good evening, KLM 250 is holding short of Juliet.
Sorry, I missed that there.
Shark 296, are you able to accept the flight plan route I sent in PM?
All these big guys are doing go-arounds. I managed to get in there okay. So... Gatwick ground, hello, KLM 250 holding short of Juliet.
KLM 250, Gatwick ground, hello, stand 12 via Juliet.
Stand 12 via Juliet, KLM 250. Stand 12. Is that stand 12? Yeah, that looks like it. So it's a left-hand turn via Juliet. And uniform. Let's just double check. No. No, there is a... Yeah, I see it. Stand 12. Yeah, little nav map is wrong. Little nav map is wrong.
Esto esa. And upon 8.
Breathe a massive sigh of relief. Hey, Domkey, good to see you. That was a highly stressful arrival. That approach controller, for some weird reason,
Ground to low speed,
he wasn't hearing me. I wasn't hearing him.
Right.
Well, I was hearing him,
1
but
Echo Delta gap ground slow. Take
so
left
weird.
Tango, right Juliet, expect stand 4.
Left Tango, right Juliet, inspect stand 4, speed by 7 Delta.
Speed by 1 Echo Delta, change of plan, taxi Juliet, Zulu, hold short, taxiway Mike.
Taxi Juliet, Zulu, hold short Mike, speed by 7 Delta.
Virgin. Gas lock on.
Then 250, take left November, right Juliet, stand 12.
Left November, right Juliet, stand 12, KLM 250, thanks.
Virgin 1 to Mike, ready for taxi.
Virgin 12 Mike, after the KLM Fokker 28 taxi from your right and from your left and it's in its stand, taxi Mike 1 runway 26 left via Mike.
28, there should be 24.
The KLM to my left, taxi via Mike 1, via Mike 2 Mike 1, KLM 1 to Mike. Sorry, Virgin 1 to Mike.
22, there should be 20, then 18, 16, 12. 20, 18, 16, and then 12.
Lufthansa 221 arrived at the block. Thank you for your service and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
I have a ground EG60 Alpha Papa finally ready for push start 105.
EG60 Alpha Papa, stand 105, push start through face east.
Push start through face east, EG60 Alpha Papa.
Chocks on, ground power in, and door open. Oh!
With 71 Echo Delta, after the Virgin Airways A320 passes from your left to right, stand 4 via Mike and Victor.
Mike and Victor after the Virgin A320 passes left to right. Speed by 7
Okay.
Virgin 1 to Mike, contact tower 124.230, Merry Christmas.
Contact tower 124.234. Thanks for ATC, Merry Christmas. Virgin 1 to Mike.
Ground position, good evening, EG6402 on South Sierra Juliet.
EG6402, GAT ground, hello, stand 106 by Juliet, Romeo, Kilo.
Stand 106 by Juliet, Romeo, Kilo, EG6402.
Alpine 8287 is ready to taxi.
Alpine 8287, taxi Alpha Tree, runway 26 left by Papa and Alpha November.
Lima Papa Alpha November, Alpha 326 left, 827.
Nice. Nice little twitch, there you go. Hold that center line.
Straight ahead, hold short, Papa.
Straight ahead, hold short, Papa.
Okay, folks, thank you very much for joining me. That was a lot of fun. I am just going to run around the airport just to see what it looks like. Classic challenge for ATC with a vintage airliner. I get it all the time. Yeah, VATSIM having a moment. Yeah. Well, that approach controller... No, sorry, the approach controller. He was talking to me, I wasn't hearing him, and I was talking to him and he wasn't hearing me. So I wonder if that was my bandwidth? I wonder if that was because I'm streaming 1440p at 60 frames a second. I wonder if that was hogging my bandwidth and then the VATSIM wasn't working properly. I wonder if that's what my issue was, because I've never quite had it where he can kind of hear me some moments and then other moments he can't. It was weird.
Get back ground, speedbird 230 on 08 left.
Oof, look at that wind there.
230, get round slow, stand 31 left via Juliet, Lean, actually. Tango, Juliet, hold short at Papa.
Just stand 31 left via Tango, Juliet, and hold short Papa. Speedbird 230.
You can see you've got two easy jets. One is a Neo and one is not. You can see the winglets and you can see the Neo engine nacelles from here, actually.
Gatwick ground, good evening, Alpine 26 Yankee on stand 101. With information Kilo, we're a Type A320 Neo requesting clearance to Innsbruck.
Alpine 260 Yankee, Gatwick ground, hello. Confirm your call signs, not easy 260 Yankee and not Alpine.
Sorry, it's been a long day. Yes, easy 26 Yankee.
Easy 26 Yankee, I don't blame you. Get ground, hello. Clear to Innsbruck, Minfo 1 Mike departure, Squawk 1425, QNH 1011.
Clear to Innsbruck on the Minfo 1 Mike departure, Squawk 1.
You can clearly see, yeah, Airbus CEO.
Easy 26 Yankee, confirm Squawk
Airbus
1425.
NEO.
It's clearly been a very long day, hasn't it? 1425, easy 26 Yankee.
You're telling me, read back correct. Easy 6 Alpha Papa, after the company A320 Neo passage from your left to right, taxi Alpha Tree, runway 26 left by Papa, Alpha November.
When the company A320 Neo passes left to right.
See, we've got a Virgin 787.
Alpha Papa.
Oh, is that an ATR I see in from Alderney or Jersey? It is, I do believe. Let's go check him out. Ah, you can even hear the little turboprops.
Alpine 8287, contact the tower 124.230, Merry Christmas.
124.230, Merry Christmas to you, 8287.
Ladies and gents, there we have Gatwick in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Tower, good day. Alpine 287 with you on Alpha.
Alpine 8287, so
I love this
tower
sim.
124.230.
I love this sim. This is such a great sim. I just love it. Thank you everyone who joined.
230 after the EGKK A320 passes from your left to right, stand 31 left via Papa and Kilo.
Let's just
After passing A320 from left to right, taxi to stand 31 left.
Thank you very much everyone who joined me in the live stream, and for those of you who are watching this on YouTube afterwards, I hope you've enjoyed that. It just goes to show how quickly you can become just frazzled in a busy VATSIM environment with a vintage aircraft that doesn't help you out much. Although I have sung the praises of the F28 before in its simplicity, and yes, it is simple in many ways. It's just, I think when the frames per second is low, I think that was also that my performance this evening suffered a bit, and I think that was because I was trying to stream in 1440p 60 frames a second. I think that probably may have been the issue I had with the approach controller coming in as well. Something about the frequency just didn't fit. So next time, I don't think streaming at 1440p is worth it. I think I'm going to go back to 1080p at 60 frames a second and hope that that just helps out the bandwidth. And maybe also, I think it's Christmas time. So many people are at home, live streaming, watching, movies and stuff online, and so the internet bandwidth might be just a bit lower this evening than compared with live streaming in the past. But anyway, I really enjoyed that. There's some things that I'm gonna have to go back and watch. There's some things that caught me out, things that I slipped up on. But I mean, I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the route that they brought me into Gatwick before we call it an evening. Look at this. Look at that. I'm coming into Detling, and he's like, turn south. And before you know it, I'm over the English Channel, because the tailwind at that speed, the tailwind was so strong, I was out in the English Channel, and then I was back in, and by the time I had been talking to the approach controller properly, because he said he tried contacting me 3 times, and it was too busy to talk about it. I know I tried to justify myself a little bit, and he let it slide, and I let it slide, and we did our best. And by the time I was on the center line on the localizer, he was giving me text because he knew there was a problem, and I was just saying affirm in the text box, and that just worked. And when it's a busy evening, you just got to live and let live and just do the best you can. But I enjoyed that. That's quite a diversion. I definitely wasn't expecting to go to take that routing into Gatwick. But then, what do you expect? They expect everyone. They expect everyone to come in on a standard arrival routing, like everyone else, with an FMC and magenta lines, and you throw an F28 on a busy night into the mix, and the VATSIM controllers are like, oh, vectors, okay. Like, I always put it in my notes, if I'm not flying with a GPS and I need VOR to VOR navigation with radials or radar vectors or localizers and ILS glide slopes, that's all I can do. I can't do GPS points. So when I put it in my details box, clearly, and they don't read it, and they say, can you fly to a GPS point? I'm like, well, no. So, yeah. But apart from that, I love flying on VATSIM. It's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. I love Microsoft Flight Simulator. I love the quality of the graphics and the smoothness of the performance. Yeah, no, and I talk a bit about bad performance, but compared to, I mean, bad performance in Microsoft Flight Simulator is a good day for me in P3D. That's how bad P3D, you know. That's how regularly bad the performance in P3D used to be for me, and I used to, for years, that's all we had. That's all we had. The systems that we had, you had to buy an absolute beast of a machine to have even passable performance sometimes with the add-ons that you had. I don't know why, it's just that's the way it was. There's a Croatia. There's a... what is that? Oh, it's an A350. That must be on X-Plane. Because that ain't... and there's me. I love the F28. I love the F28. Oh, there's a Wizz Air. Let's see how he does. Oof. Bounce. Oh. Bounce. Centerline. Way off centerline. I don't know. Was my approach that bad? I don't feel it was, and I don't feel like my takeoff was that bad either. But yet I see a lot. This is the thing. I was watching Amsterdam arrivals before I turned on the live stream, and there were some really, really bad approaches. There were some approaches where it was like, dude, you should have gone around, you know, before you even got to minimums at some point. And they're literally in the grass all over the place, some of them. And it's like, why are you continuing? Like just go around. Like, I don't know. But I don't know, the A320s and 737s, when there's wind involved and gusty wind, it really separates the men from the boys in crosswind landings in gusty conditions. But again, everyone's system is different. Everyone's control setups are different. Everyone's screen sizes are different. Everyone's computer performance is different. Their FPS, their smoothness of the sim, everything is different. Everything's variable. It's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to this sort of thing. So I feel like since Microsoft Flight Simulator and my improved performance, he's crabbing into the wind before he's even off the runway. I can see. I feel like with extra performance, my landings have gotten so much better than they were in P3D. And really, it's just how comfortable, how knowledgeable, and how is your muscle memory with your specific aircraft that you're wanting to fly. How knowledgeable and how practiced are you at your chosen aircraft? And the more you fly your chosen aircraft, the more and more and more you will nail landings, takeoffs, crosswinds, you know, in all the different flight regimes and speeds. And I think we fly so many different aircraft on flight simulators that we never master one of them. We're just a jack of all trades with all sorts of things, and we just kind of throw it and bounce it down, and we don't hold center lines and all those sorts of things. But I feel like the more I fly one aircraft, I feel like, oh, I just want to fly this again, because I feel it gets better and better the more you fly one aircraft. So I love the F28, love the Cherokee. The Cherokee aerodynamic modeling is superb. It is second to none. AccuSim 2.0. I am enjoying the PC-12, the single engine turboprop, but the controls for that and the torque and everything, that's a whole different thing. I'm not used to that, so that's all a new experience for me as well. Can't wait for more A2A aircraft. Really, really hope one day that they bring the Connie and the Strat into Microsoft Flight Simulator. But anyway, I thought I'd just sit and debrief a little bit more this evening than I usually do. But Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you all had a lovely year. Hope you have a good Christmas and New Year's. And I will see you all before New Year's, because I'm coming back. I'm going away over the Christmas period. I'll be back on the 27th of December. And I'll have a few days of the year left before January the 1st. And once January the 1st hits, I'm back into work and I'm slogging away. But I will have a couple of days to do some more videos and live streams. Maybe I could catch a long haul live stream. I'd like to try that. Like a good 6, 7, 8 hour long live stream where I do a full point A to point B uninterrupted long haul in a vintage airliner of something or other. I don't know what. I mean, I could pull out P3D version 3 with the Strat again. It will probably crash on me, but I mean, I have P3D version 3 installed, and the performance is, yeah, so we'll see. 108,060 is the most you can stream on Twitch anyway. Well, currently on OBS, I'm outputting just under 5,000 kilobits a second. So, and it is streaming solid at 60 frames a second. I'm gonna have to play around. I think I will have to go back to 1080p. I think it's just better for all concerned. But then if my bandwidth is the same, if the bandwidth is the same, the quality of 1080p would be better than 1440p, because you're spreading the same bandwidth further, or you're having to spread it over a thinner. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe VATSIM wasn't. Maybe it wasn't that problem. Maybe I should be fine streaming 1440p at 60 frames a second. And it would. To be honest, it was just that one controller. Every other controller I talked to this evening was fine, and it was just the approach controller that had some weird problem. So I think maybe I'll just continue. That's it. Maybe I should just continue streaming at 1440p 60 frames a second until I have consistent issues. Then I'll go back to 1080p. But anyway, that's it for me for this evening. Hope you guys have a good Christmas. I will see you guys after Christmas and before the New Year's. Have a lovely evening and weekend. Ta-ta.